Hello. Oh. Hi. I'm Charlie. This is my shed. Welcome to my shed for the very first time because this is my YouTube debut, kind of. The first video I posted was not meant to be a YouTube video, but that's where it ended up, so I thought now I would try and do this properly. We'll see how that goes. I apologize in advance. So I'm going to make a napkin holder, I know, very exciting, for my parents because I already made them one and now they want another one, so that's a good sign at least. I am using rough sawn sapele, which looks like this. Ta-da! My understanding is that sapele is like a substitute for mahogany, a more affordable option, so that suits me. Obviously this is a really like beefy piece, so we need to resaw it, which means cutting it into thinner pieces. So now we have this. I tried to do it on the table saw because I don't have a bandsaw, but my cheap table saw just got very angry and started smoking. Yeah, it's not pretty. You don't need to be a woodworker to know that ain't good. So I finished it with my lovely Ryoba saw, which is excellent. Now, after a lot of hand sawing, which made my arm sore from sawing, we have two pieces. Oh god. We have two thinner pieces of wood, which are going to be a napkin holder. Because this is rough sawn lumber, it doesn't have a straight edge on it. So before we mark and measure for our pieces, we need to put a straight edge on it. So I'm going to do that on the table saw. I'm going to stick the two pieces together with the old masking tape and super glue trick. You don't need that much because you know you want it to dry quickly and you know. So line this up. And you can just apply some pressure. Use the weight of your body to make sure that it sticks together for a few seconds. I think people usually use like a piece of wood they know to be straight, but I don't know if I have any piece of wood I know to be straight. So I'm just gonna stick this ruler to it because, you know, it's a ruler. That should be straight, right? Yeah, that should work. And this way you can just take them apart when you're done and you won't get any super glue on your pieces because they're just sticking the tape together, but the tape's strong enough to stick hold the things together temporarily. So we'll just put that on so it overhangs slightly so it doesn't have any interference with the not straight edge when it's referencing on the fence. Whoop. Okay. Right, we're good. Now we're going to take this over to the table saw and cut it. Put the ruler side against the fence so it references off the straight edge of the ruler and slide our fence so it just goes where it'll take off the edge. So now if we take these apart, we have two pieces of wood with two parallel straight edges because we created the first straight edge referencing off the ruler and then we flipped it over, took the ruler off obviously, and then it referenced off the straight edge we just created, so we know they're parallel. Is that in? Okay, slide in. So now we have two pieces that have straight edges on all sides. We need 18.4. That way. Extend that. And then this way we need 18.4. What I like to do is use my square and butt the ruler up against the edge so I know it's like right at the edge. And then we measure. Okay, that will be our base. Now I need to cut two pieces that are 16.8 wide again. This is for the sides. And we need two that are 16.8 wide and 7.5 tall, because that's just a height I thought was nice. Make it however tall or short you want, depending on your napkin holding needs. So we'll do 7.4. So now we're just gonna cut these. Okay, so now you can see how it's gonna fit together. There will be a hole in either side, like there, for a strip to slide up and down to hold the napkins in place. Okay, so we need to transcribe the thickness of the piece onto the corresponding piece so we know how deep to cut our joinery. So I'm gonna take a measurement from this and we'll let it overhang the tiniest bit so we can sand it flush afterwards. So we're just gonna scribe this on the edges. This saw has this, I don't know what you call these, this bracing thingy, so that gets in the way when it gets down to the magnets and changes the angle. So I just started off and then followed the line that was created using the jig when I want to use this saw. I'm gonna flip it around, do the same again. Oh, what if I do it like this? Insane. Is that working? This is some seriously questionable woodworking technique. Okay, tiny bit more. We are down to our line on both sides, so we're gonna find the line from our marking gauge with the chisel. I think snap that off. I did just snap it off because it's on the long grain. I did it the wrong way around. I meant to take these bits out. Fuck. See, I know what my mistake that was. I took way too much at one go. So four. But Okay. Now we have our tails. I think these are called tails. Not sure. Might be the other way around. So we're gonna transfer the tails onto the pin board.
Line it up and mark the lines. Okay. And the line.
So we're gonna sand everything before we glue the joints up, just because it's easier. So I'm gonna work my way through the grits. I've got an 80 on here, and then I'm gonna do 120, then 240, then 320. And then it will be nice and smooth. Right. Ugh. So, these are sanded to 320 grit, and they are smooth as a baby's bottom. But I imagine they are as soft as this wood. Clamps and my Gorilla Glue wood glue. Oh, I need my little thingy. I love these. You just peel the dried glue off. It's so satisfying. Okay. Right, which way around is this? These pieces are like, this side has really nice straight grain and this side has this big swoosh. So I'm gonna match them so it's like straight to swoosh in some kind of consistency between the pieces.
This edge and the face of the dovetail.
Hello, welcome back. It is the next day. Well, actually, it's the day after the next day because I felt like crap yesterday and I look like crap today. So we are unclamping. It's got a head start without me. Alright, well, it's in one piece, so that's good. We're gonna plane these down, or chisel them probably. I'm not sure yet. Maybe I'll just do it with my Japanese hand plane now. I love this thing, it's so nice. Let me zoom you in.
Okay.
That'll do for now. Oh, that is the wrong way. We're gonna keep going this way. I don't actually know. Like, I can never tell visually. I can only tell if I'm going the right direction with the grain after I've tried it. Like, if it goes wrong, I'm like, oh, well, it's the other way. But I always get it wrong. I can never tell which way it is visually. If anyone's got any tips on that, let me know. So now I'm just gonna fill, because I didn't cut it that well, I'm just gonna fill the gaps I've got with this walnut wood filler I've got, well, not walnut, just dark wood filler, because when we oil this, that'll kind of blend in. I'm not fussy. It'll look super messy now, but we'll sand it down so it just fills in the gaps and we take it off everywhere else. That one's not too bad underneath. But, you know, better safe than sorry. Okay, you should definitely leave it longer. Like, it starts to go pale when it's dry, but I don't really want to wait. But you should, if you use it, follow the directions, maybe. Okay, that worked mostly. The major downside of my error in cutting the dovetails in the long grain side of the baseboard instead of the end grain means that when I oil this, you won't see the contrast between the pieces so much. So, whoops, I will pay more attention next time. Now I've got my Makita trim router, which I bought recently, which is just so nice. And its base. And this jig that I made from the plans by Tamar at 3x3 Custom. Hers looks way better than mine because I did it really scruffily, but it works.
I guess that covers. There we go. We are going to use pieces and to by do center straight line.
8 divided by 2 is 8.4. 8.4. How wide do we want to go? That's 2 centimeters? Maybe 2.2. Don't know why. And 7.5 to the bottom. Which one do I need? This one?
Okay. Tighten it on.
Okay, here we go. Okay, we have a hole. I went a bit close to the edge. It's fine. Now I'm just gonna chisel, not round. That's not a mallet. Ooh, that almost went so wrong. It started splitting. That would be bad. So then it was, I had a song for it, 7.3 and 9.5. I can't believe I remembered that. The power of music. Didn't even need to do the maths again. I hope that's right. Forgot to turn the dust extractor on.
This is coffee. I think we can make better. Look at this. Great idea. Okay. Not too shabby.
This is too small and awkward to play. 'Cause I don't have bench dogs and plates. But I do have some, so I just need to put holes in so I can use them. Nice. So we'll set that there. And we need 2 of those. It's so awkward and tiny to cut.
Should have done them off. One. Oh, we've gone too far. Okay. Chisel away, chisel away. Okay, let's fix this.
like that. Ugh. Alright, I gotta be honest, I'm fed up. So I'm just gonna finish it so I can do something else. We're gonna use Danish oil. I gotta finish this part before I put the bar across because otherwise it's just awkward. So I'm gonna do that now. It will be satisfying. Ooh. Oh yeah.
Glossy. So
this way you're gonna see how sad it is that I did the dovetails in the long grain instead of the cross grain, because this is all the same color, whereas you can see on the sides how dark the sides go in comparison. So what it should have been was this dark, but you know, in the end it's still gonna work as a napkin holder, so job's done. Glue. And the other side. Okay. Okay, we'll leave that in its precarious position for that to dry. Okie dokie! Time to remove the clamps. Please don't fall apart. Oil her up. So, here we go. 2 napkin holders with some napkins in them. We seem to be running out of napkins, so there is a small amount. So here are the 2 napkin holders I've made. This is the first one I made where I put the dovetails in the right side, and you can see that nice contrast there. And this is the second one you just watched me make. I don't like it quite as much because the lack of contrast, just visually, it's not as nice, but it's okay. So, it's finished. There were a lot of mistakes along the way, suffice to say. My advice would be, don't do things that require precision when you are not in the mood, because they will go wrong. And mistakes tend to come in groups, in my experience. The first one I made was better than the second one, mostly because of that mistake with the end grain, long grain, of which side I put the dovetails in, so you couldn't really see the dovetail in the second one, which is a bit sad because that was like my favorite part, but functions as a napkin holder. So I guess project complete. We're setting the bar low with the YouTube videos. My lack of experience with filming and all that is pretty self-evident. And if any of you were under the misguided impression that I was skilled in this woodworking area, I think we've now dispersed those illusions, and you can see all the mistakes I make and the truth of my lack of skill. But you know, we make it work because that's the fun part. So see you next time. Bye from the shed. Hopefully next time will be better. I'll try and do it better next time. I think the next video will probably be making dovetails again, but more this time, making like this platform thing for an artwork I'm making, which involves woodworking, so I'll probably show you that. I keep wanting to call it CA glue because I watch like American and Canadian woodworking YouTubers, and they always call it like painter's tape and CA glue trick, but I am British, so Well, I guess this is technically painter's tape. Painter's tape and super glue. Is there a difference between super glue and CA glue? Does anyone know? Maybe I'll Google it. God, it's kind of weird. You're like talking to yourself and no one can answer you. Reply in the comments. Lol.